Hey guys, good evening. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Bridgie. How you guys doing today? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to Gistmas day 15. Thank you very much for joining me. And if you had not yet subscribed, please join our family by subscribing. And if you hit on the bell sign, you get notification whenever I post my videos. So it's a sad one tonight, guys. And I'm talking about a very, very serious issue in our community that we tend to ignore. We don't like talking about it because it's uncomfortable for a lot of people. But as you guys know, I am very, very happy to talk about this very uncomfortable or some topics that people just find as, they just want to ignore it. Like if they keep ignoring it, that it's going to go away. But we all know that that's never going to happen. You don't ignore things, especially when it comes to illness, and you expect it to go away. You need to get treatment. So that brings me to the story of today. This guy that you see on this scene, his name is Dapo Ojora, and he was only 58 years old. Sadly, he passed on a couple of days ago. Now, this gentleman was from a very prominent family in Lagos. He's a Lagos socialite, and he's the son of Otumba Adekunle Ojora and Erelu Ujolakpe Ojora. These are big-time multimillionaires in Lagos Island. And he was also the in-law of the former Senate President's wife, Busola Saraki. So it was actually his sister that is married to Busola Saraki, who was the former Senate President. So he's a very popular guy. He's a lover of polo. And he was very, very big in the Lagos, social circles until a couple of years ago. Now, he was married as well. And the report says that, unfortunately, that he got separated from his wife in 2019. The wife is called Patricia. She's a lawyer and she's also an entrepreneur. Now, what happened is that this guy, Dapo, sadly, who just took things into his hands allegedly, because I think the police are still investigating, but the preliminary report says that he actually ended things himself. And he escaped a gas limo accident not too long ago. And what people are saying is that after this accident, things really changed for him. He just disappeared from, a public eye. He wasn't attending events or attending parties or socializing like he previously did. And he just, became really, really private. And this accident was a motorbike accident, which was very, very serious. He almost died. It was God that saved him, but he survived it. But apparently, after this accident, things have not remained the same for him. He just retreated from the public. And then when his marriage now ended, and he got separated from his wife in 2019, last year, he became very depressed. And all the people that wrote about this in Nigerian articles and magazines and newspaper all said that he loved his wife very, very dearly and could not handle the separation. It was like that was the last straw that broke the camel's back. Now, nobody knows, what happened or why they got separated, and nobody knows all the issues that, led to this sad incident, because his parents are still alive. Actually, he went to see his parents on the day that he did this. He went to pay a visit to his parents and then went back home. So there's so many speculations. People are saying that, there was some financial difficulty. He was suffering from depression. And also that when his marriage failed, he now, it was like the icing that made everything so he couldn't handle it. And that's why somebody that still has his parents alive, from a very, very prominent family, and he just decided to, end things himself. Now, when he and his wife got separated, they came back temporarily together because the daughter was getting married. And some of the pictures you can see that there was a wedding ceremony taking place there for their daughter's wedding, and it was a very elaborate wedding, as you know. When Lagosians that are very, very influential. When I say influential, I mean the 1% of the 1%. Those are the ones that are really, really, very, very influential. They are old money. What do you call old money in this part of the world? They always, when they want to do something, they do it big. So the wife and himself, this Dapo, came together and they did the wedding and everything seemed fine. But it seems like it was just putting on a brave face, and the marriage problems were not resolved. It was not. You can see him here. That's Pastor Paul Adefarasin in there. I don't know who those other people are, but like I said, he's known in Nigerian socialite circle. Is known to a lot of people. He's a very popular guy in Lagos, Nigeria, and abroad. Now, the point of this whole thing is that somebody went to see his parents, and also his own brother actually died, and the brother was just 50 years old when he died about 9 years ago. I understand that the brother died as well, and he was just 50 at that time. He went to see his parents that day. So after he finished seeing his parents, he went home and allegedly he just took Chakabula, and that was it. In that things. That's the picture of the wedding ceremony of the daughter. You can see him there, his wife. You can see the couple there. I suspect those are the parents of the groom. So, what is the moral of this story, or why am I sharing this story? I'm sharing this story to highlight a very serious issue in the Black community. A lot of men suffer from depression. Depression is real. It is not something that people just say, or a word that people throw around because of anything. Now, I'm also aware that a lot of people in our community are ashamed, because depression is a mental health issue. But we are always ashamed to even disclose when we are suffering. And it brings me to the issue of masculinity. When we talk about masculinity in an African culture like this, in the sense of an African man, what does it mean? Because men are expected to be strong. They are expected to be independent, to be courageous, to provide leadership, to have power. There's this image of masculinity that we have. And even when boys are growing up in Africa, you hear parents tell them, boys don't cry. Now, that is a very, very dangerous thing to say. I will say it's a very dangerous thing to tell your kids, as if you have boys like me, to tell them that boys don't cry. Why? Why won't boys cry? Because what we believe as Africans is that, as a boy, you have to be strong. How can you show your feelings? You're not supposed to. But every human being has feelings. Every human being has feelings. Why is it tolerable for us to accept that women have feelings and we can express our feelings, but it is wrong for men to express their feelings? This is very, very toxic. It is not something that should be encouraged in 2020, because it's actually not helping. So the result of this is that a lot of people suffer in silence. They don't want to say anything. Even when they are dying, they don't want to say anything. Even when they're going through a very difficult period mentally, they are afraid, because people will laugh at them. If you go to a place like Nigeria and you are around circles where people don't have understanding of what mental illness is, and you say, I'm depressed, they will laugh at you and say, what's that, boy? Maybe you don't have money. They will say, it's because you don't have money, that's why you're talking about depression. But depression has got nothing to do with whether you have money or not. The very, very rich and successful people also suffer from this illness. It is a sickness. You can't say I have headache, or I have, whatever illness that you have, and somebody will tell you, it's because you don't have money, that's why you are sick. Not possible. But I find that when we talk about mental health or mental illness, people always, are African, especially Nigerians, we always downplay it. We say, it's because you are broke, that's why. Maybe it's because you are struggling in business, that's why. But it's got nothing to do with it. So you can see now, this is Bukola Saraki, the former Senate president, and that's his wife, who is the younger sister to Dapo Ojora. His parents are still alive. Just imagine, as I was reflecting on this story, I was imagining the parents, they've lost son number 1 9 years ago, and now another son again. Oh my God. So we need to begin to look at this thing and talk about them. There needs to be services in place to support people who are suffering with mental illness. It is not the era for you to be telling your boys, oh, boys don't cry, you have to be strong. It is not possible for any human being, whether male or female, to be strong all the time. We all have our breaking point. And a psychiatrist that I brought on this channel a while ago explained it to us, what it means when you are at your breaking point and your stress level is already very high. Your bucket of stress is almost full. Any little incident that happens will tip you over. It can lead to other mental health illness. Depression can lead to, other things. But we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to agree or accept that this is an illness that needs to be dealt with. It can affect the young, it can affect old, it can affect women, and it can affect men. I feel like society are more receptive to women coming out to say, I am depressed, than if it's a man. They say, oh, man, how can a man be depressed? You are supposed to be tough. And that's why I brought out, I brought up the issue of this masculinity. There's a version of masculinity that is very toxic. And I believe that when you say a man is so masculine that they cannot express themselves or be vulnerable to be able to say, this is how I feel inside. I don't feel right. I am depressed. I need help. Once we don't create that enabling environment for men to be able to express themselves, this is what happens. And a lot of people will bring all sorts of solutions. So, no, it's not mental health. Nigerians will do anything to justify a matter rather than accept that it's mental health. Nobody will accept because, the stigma. It's not mental health, or maybe it's something. Anything to justify it. Somebody, I will not be surprised now when I post this video, somebody can come and say it's juju. Or somebody will come and say it's somebody that charmed them, or it's spiritual, it's something. But mental health is real. That's my point. So please love yourself, speak out, seek help, talk to somebody. You need to speak out. And for us women out there, sisters, let's try and be a bit more supportive of our brothers, whether it's your husband, it's your blood brother, it's your adugbo brother, anybody. Let us try to be a bit more understanding that mental health has got nothing to do with gender. Men too suffer from depression, and men too need an outlet. They need someone to talk to. They need someone who has an ear to listen. They need support. And I just pray that, God will comfort the family of the Ojora and all the family and friends that God will give them the fortitude to bear this loss, because it's a very big loss to the family. And if you are living in diaspora, especially where there are loads of services available to support you, your first point of contact, if you're feeling depressed, speak to your GP, speak to your doctor. They will know what to do. But please do not suffer in silence, because if you keep suffering in silence and you do not seek help, it might just be too late. So guys, please speak out, seek help, and make sure you get all the help that you need. Depression is real for men. It is not a facade. It is not something that people just say to make up or to say to escape problems, or when they are broke. It is a real life issue, a real life problem, and it is real. I'm just going to leave it here today, guys. Leave me your thoughts and your comments in the comment section, and I'll speak to you tomorrow in my next Gistmas. Thanks a lot for listening and watching. I love you. Bye-bye.